Shalom. My name is MOREH ISHIYAH Yisrael from the House of Israel in Cincinnati, Ohio, 2330 Kemper Lane, bringing to you in 40 minutes or less. In 40 minutes or less, I will prove beyond a shadow of a doubt the word of Yahweh. Who is this Yahweh? Yahweh is the creator of the heaven, the earth, the sea, and all that is therein. Yahweh is the Elohim of our fathers, Abraham, Yitzhak, and Yisrael, whom you may know as Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Yahweh is our judge. Yahweh is our lawgiver. Yahweh is our king, who will save us. Shalom, and welcome to another program of 40 minutes or less. In today's program, Lesson 41, we will deal with, again, relationships, Part 4. Today's relationship that we will deal with is a father and son, which in the scriptures is the fourth most important relationship in the scriptures. We dealt with the very first relationship, and that is Elohim and man. The second relationship in the scriptures is a husband and wife. The third relationship in the scriptures is a father and mother. And the fourth relationship that we will deal with today is a father and son. And yes, we have 7 different relationships that we're going to bring to you. And we're going to prove all these things concerning these relationships, because they are relationships, in 40 minutes or less. And why 40 minutes or less? Because it don't even take 40 minutes to prove the word of Yahweh, but considerably less most times. But this subject is important, and we're going to deal with it. Father and son. The first thing I want you to see concerning the father and the son is not how you see it, not how I see it, not how the so-called experts see it, the psychologists, the psychiatrists, the so-called doctors and PhDs, relationship gurus, as well as many of your religious experts. But I'm going to show you the word of Yahweh. And in his word, he's going to tell you how he sees it. And we're going to start in the book of Malachi. Malachi, the first chapter. And this is what it says in the book of Malachi, the very first chapter. And we're going to start reading at the 6th verse. And watch what Yahweh said about this relationship. A son honors his father, and a servant his master. If then I be a father, where is my honor? And if I be a master, where is my fear, says Yahweh of hosts unto you, O priests that despise my name? And ye say, wherein have we despised thy name? And we're going to show you how the name of Yahweh is truly despised. It's despised because we're under the erroneous impression that everybody else is experts on relationships. TikTok, data experts. YouTube, data experts. Facebook, Instagram, all these other social media platforms. If you want to know about relationships, they would tell you you can find it there. Or these so-called PhDs who study behavior, as well as doctors, spent their whole life studying the heart, the mind, the behavior on various people in groups and races. But why would we need all these people? Why would we need all these things when the creator of the heaven, the earth, the sea, and all that is therein is, who designed, made, formed, and created us, already told us about us and the relationship that we're supposed to have? A son's supposed to honor his father, and a servant his master. And all through the scriptures, you're going to see that this is supposed to be a fact of life. And if it's not a fact of life in your life, then it should be. You have to change that. Watch the scriptures. The next scripture, that was scripture number 1. The second one is in the book of Proverbs. Proverbs, the first chapter. As I said before, I will do this in 40 minutes or less. In the book of Proverbs, the first chapter, the 7th verse. The fear of Yahweh is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and instruction. So it's no sense of talking to a fool because they're going to despise it anyway. My son, hear the instruction of thy father, and forsake not the law of thy mother, for they shall be an ornament of grace unto thy head, and chains about thy neck. In other words, the first people that a son is supposed to learn from is his parents, and particularly his father. And why his father? If you review our other lessons, you will see why. That he's made in the image and the likeness of his father. Watch what the scripture says in the book of 2 Kings. Watch what it says. And I want you to see this because I want you to see how instrumental a father is supposed to be in his son's life. And yes, I'm talking about his son. We'll get to the relationship of the daughters, but right now we're talking about the sons. 2 Kings, 18th chapter. And watch what it says. And we'll start at the first verse. Now it came to pass in the 3rd year of Hoshea, son of Elah, king of Israel, that Hezekiah, the son of Ahaz, king of Yehudah, began to reign. 25 years old was he when he began to reign. And he reigned 29 years in Jerusalem. His mother's name also was Abi, the daughter of Zechariah. And watch what it says about this Hezekiah in the 3rd verse. And he did that which was right in the sight of Yahweh. And who is Yahweh? The creator. According to all that David, his father, did. In other words, he wasn't compared to his friends. He wasn't compared to his cousins. He wasn't compared to his brothers. There was only one comparison that Yahweh wanted to know. And that is, one, did you do what was right in my sight? And number 2, did you do as your father did, if he was right? But if your father wasn't right, the Almighty didn't want you to follow him. He wanted you to follow the true Father, the one Father. And we'll show you that. The 3rd scripture, 2 Kings 22, since we in the book of Kings. Watch what it says, 2 Kings 22. So undoubtedly, even though Hezekiah was a few generations away from David, he was still compared to David, his father. Not the father who buried him, but the father whom Yahweh seen as right. Second Kings. And we're trying to compare one another when the Almighty gave us the ones we should be comparing ourselves to. Second Kings 22, starting at verse 1. Josiah was 8 years old when he began to reign, and he reigned 31 years in Jerusalem. And his mother's name was Yedida, the daughter of Adiah of Bashkat. And he did that which was right in the sight of Yahweh, walked in all the way of David his father. This Josiah was 8 years old. And turned not aside to the right hand or to the left. In other words, he wasn't distracted like many of us. We look into the left, we look into the right. We're distracted by all kind of things around us, but not him. Furthermore, since we in the book of Kings, let's go to First Kings, just so you can see this. In the book of First Kings, because I want you to see the measuring stick, but also the relationship that one should have with their father. Here it is in the book of 1 Kings 15, and then you wonder why society is in the pitiful condition that it's in today. 1 Kings 15, and watch what it says, starting at the first verse. Now in the 18th year of King Jehoram, the son of Nebat, reigned Abijam over Yehuda. 3 years reigned he in Jerusalem. And his mother's name was Maacah, the daughter of Abi Shalom. And he walked in all the sins of his father. In other words, he didn't do what was right in the sight of Yahweh. He walked in all the sins of his father, which he had done before him, and his heart was not perfect with Yahweh his Elohim, as the heart of David his father. Nevertheless, for David's sake did Yahweh his Elohim give him a lamp in Jerusalem to set up his son after him and to establish Jerusalem. Because David did that which was right in the eyes of Yahweh, turned not aside from anything that he commanded him all the days of his life, except or save only in the matter of Uriah the Hittite. David made that mistake. David made that sin. But everything else, he was perfect. Didn't turn aside at all. And that one thing David did, do you realize many of the preachers, they will hold that against David, even though they done worse. But they will hold that against David. And so do many other people, not just the preachers. Also, in the book of 1 Kings, the 15th chapter, this same chapter, starting at the 9th verse, because we got another man. See, he did, Abiam was wicked. His father Jehoram was wicked. But watch this in the 9th verse. And in the 20th year of Jehoram, king of Israel, reigned Asa over Yehuda. 41 years reigned he in Jerusalem. And his mother's name was Maacah, the daughter of Abi Shalom. And Asa did that which was right in the eyes of Yahweh, as did David his father. Because you're going to have to understand, you're going to have to learn this father and son relationship. You got to understand when you're walking out there who you're going to be compared to. Are you going to be compared to this brother, that Moreh, that Kohen, that cousin, that nephew, that niece? No. There's only one comparison, and that's to your father. Either the one that was right or the one that was wrong. Watch what it says. I read that 11th verse again. And Asa did that which was right in the eyes of Yahweh, as did his father, as did David his father. In other words, it was like David. So that you don't have to be wicked. You can be right. And watch this. Just show you who started all this, who you can look back to in the book of Genesis, the 26th chapter. And watch what this says in Genesis 26, verse 1 through 5. And there was a famine in the land beside the first famine that was in the days of Abraham, and Isaac went unto Abimelech, king of the Philistines, unto Gerar. And Yahweh appeared unto him and said, Go, not down into Egypt. Dwell in the land which I shall tell thee of. Sojourn in this land, and I will be with thee, and will bless thee. For unto thee and unto thy seed I will give all these countries, and I will perform the oath which I swore to Abraham thy father. And I will make thy seed to multiply as the stars of heaven, and will give unto thy seed all these countries. And in thy seed shall all the nations of the earth be blessed. And look, this is a blessing. Yahweh is pouring his blessing upon Isaac and his seed. But this is why. This is what you got to understand. The 5th verse. Because Abraham obeyed my voice, kept my charge, my commandments, my statutes, and my laws. That's what his father did. And as a result of what his father did, Isaac became blessed. And what do you think Isaac did? Well, he followed his father, as we all should do when our father is following Yahweh. That's the key. And just show you how this is done, go to the book of Jeremiah 35. Watch this. I want you to see how Yahweh, how much he loves obedience when it comes to a father and a son. He loved this relationship, and why? Because Yahweh is a father. Now watch this. Starting in the book of Jeremiah, the 35th chapter, the very first verse. The word which came unto Jeremiah from Yahweh in the days of Jehoiakim, the son of Josiah, king of Judah, saying, Go unto the house of the Rechabites, speak unto them, bring them in the house of Yahweh, into one of the chambers, and give them wine to drink. Then I took Yaazaniah, the son of Jeremiah, the son of Habaziniah, and his brethren, and all his sons, and the whole house of the Rechabites. And I brought them into the house of Yahweh, into the chamber of the sons of Hanan, the son of Igdaliah, a man of Elohim, which was by the chamber of the princes, which was above the chamber of Maaseiah, the son of Shalom, the keeper of the door. And I set before the sons of the house of the Rechabites pots full of wine and cups, and I said unto them, Drink ye wine. Great hospitality. But watch what they say. But they said, We will drink no wine. For Jonadab, the son of Rechab, our father, commanded us, saying, Ye shall drink no wine, neither you nor your sons forever. In other words, their father told them, don't ever drink wine. I don't care if it's the high priest, and these were priests that set this wine before them. And Yahweh told the priest to set the wine before them. But Yahweh wanted to see. He wanted to show everybody, no matter who set the wine there, they was going to follow their father. Watch what it says. Neither shall ye build house, nor sow seed, nor plant vineyard, nor have any. But all your days ye shall dwell in tents, that ye may live many days in the land where ye be strangers. Thus have we obeyed the voice of Jonadab, the son of Rechab, our father, and all that he hath charged us, to drink no wine all our days, we, our wives, our sons, our daughters, nor to build houses for us to dwell in. Neither have we vineyard or field or seed, but we have dwelt in tents and have obeyed and done according to all that Jonadab our father commanded us. But it came to pass, when Nebuchadnezzar king of Babylon came up into the land, that we said, Come, and let us go to Jerusalem for the fear of the army of the Chaldeans, and for the fear of the army of the Syrians. So we dwelt at Jerusalem. Then came the word of Yahweh unto Jeremiah, saying, Thus says Yahweh of hosts, the Elohim of Israel, Go and tell the men of Yehudah and the inhabitants of Jerusalem, will ye not receive instruction to hearken to my words, says Yahweh? The words of Jonadab, the son of Rechab, that he commanded his sons not to drink wine or perform. For unto this day they drink none, but obey their father's commandment. Notwithstanding, I have spoken unto you rising early and speaking, but ye hearken not unto me. And that's the point. See, a father and a son relationship had to be tight, way tighter, way knitted than we can only imagine. And there's great blessings in that relationship being knitted. The only reason our sons' relationships is knitted with their mothers because you have allowed, or we have allowed, other people to distract us from the relationship that we're supposed to have with our fathers. And now the chain is broken from one generation to the next. To the extent, look what Yahweh said, that must take place even in the last days. And you'll read this in the book of Malachi. And watch what the Creator said in the book of Malachi, the 4th chapter. And we're going to read the 4th and the 5th verse. The 4th, 5th, and 6th verse. Remember ye the law of Moshe my servant, which I commanded unto him in Horeb for all Israel, with the statutes and the judgment. Behold, I will send you Elijah the prophet before the coming of the great and dreadful day of Yahweh. And he shall turn the heart of the fathers to the children, and the heart of the children to their fathers, lest I come and smite the earth with a curse. And it looked like, it seems like, the earth is smitten with a curse. Because the fathers, the sons, their heart is not knitted with one another. And the only way that this can be fulfilled is the heart of the fathers must turn back to their sons. And the heart of the sons must turn back to their fathers. Then, and only then, we can heal and repair the generations to come. Relationships part 4. Father and son. Until our next lesson, Yahweh love you, and so do I. Shalom.